Hello. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me okay? I have the big fancy microphone set up and I always worry that maybe I didn't do it right. Hi, Emma. How are you? How's everyone doing today? It's a little bit chilly here. Let's see. Can you guys hear me all right? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes. Hi. Okay. Everyone's coming through. That's good. Here, let's do this. And then I need to pin it. There you go. You've been missed. Oh, thank you. Hi, Aman. How are you? I know it was busy. I said I wanted to do these every month, which I still do. It's just the last month and a half has been very busy for me with all the collaborations and stuff, and just it's been a lot. So I'm excited to be back here. I tried to wear like something similar to what I put in the YouTube thumbnail. Sorry, it escaped me what it's called. But yeah, it's a little chilly here. It's been busy with meeting new people and collaborating and then editing all of the stuff. And I'm excited to just hang out with you guys today. So your plant looks like he sprouted a few more leaves. He did, actually. Roberto's going hard. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like the collabs. The collabs have been very different. And when people started reaching out to me to do collaborations, I was a little bit out of my comfort zone, honestly. But I thought, with metapsychics being your sidekicks to all things metaphysical, I was trying to branch out a little bit. Because when I started metapsychics, I really thought that it was going to be more of like just researching things and then talking about it and sharing because I like learning about new things and doing research and silly things like that. Hello, Tina. But some new spooky stuff. I am actually gonna have some new spooky stuff too. But anyways, I always thought metapsychics was gonna like be in like a box, and the collabs that I've done have really taken me outside of the box a little bit. So it's been interesting. Oh, let me see. I need to write that down before I forget. Thank you everyone who's here today. I got a couple emails from people internationally asking if I could go live around like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning because I finally got the notification for the stream. Lucky says boxes are for squares, right? I wish you would collab solar glow meditations. Thank you. I was actually going to ask about what kind of collabs you guys want me to do for the future. I've never heard of solar glow meditations, but I'm going to write it down. So thank you for that. Um, Anywho, I am excited to hang out with you guys because people asked like internationally, hey, could you do something earlier so that I could come to the live streams? And I honestly didn't think that I'd be able to, but my son's getting bigger. Amanda, live your glowing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like with postpartum and becoming a mom, like I used to think that my hair was growing back. And then I actually got to see a video that I recorded for someone on a private reading to send to them. And I was just like going through old things that I could get rid of to open up space on my drive. And I saw a video of myself when I was still doing readings with Oak. And guys, the hair loss was ridiculous. It looked like I was trying to get like an undercut, like all of this hair was gone. It was so bad. I feel so much better now. I finally feel like and I feel like as a mom, you say this that, oh, I'm starting to feel like myself again, like my body's my own and my hair's growing back, yada, yada, yada. And it's really not until like 2 years that I honestly feel like I can say that with confidence now. But, so I'm excited to be able to be here to do some readings if people want, because, readings are open, but that's not entirely that's not why we're here. This is just to like hang out, ask questions. And if you guys want to do some readings, we can definitely do that because they're cheaper. And I'm always I know that my readings are not the most expensive, but they're not the least expensive. And when it comes to running a business, there is like profit and loss, how much someone actually takes home as income versus how much goes to the business, yada, yada, yada. So I just know that between like Patreon, if you're interested in Patreon stuff, if you're tier 3 or higher, which is Akashic Castle, then you can do monthly psychic mediumship um readings with me. So that's I think $15 a month and you get like little mini readings with me, whereas like the live stream readings are a little bit more expensive cuz I am, sitting here and talking and doing everything else, but I'm trying to give people the most availability to be able to ask questions as well as engage in readings even if they're not private ones. So anyways, just, cost value, things like that. Um What else? More collabs. I'm trying to read all of these lovely comments that you're talking about. Igor says it's a dowsing rod slash Reiki channel, and she's very nice, just like you. Oh, thank you, Igor. I appreciate that. Well, I don't know much about dowsing rods, and I do want to learn more about Reiki, so that sounds fun. Um, Emma says it's all good. I looked like I had a snatched ponytail for 40 years straight or something. I know Emma just had a baby, so that's funny. Hi, Jay. How are you? I hope all of the moving of things is going well still. Um Tina says I miss the mediumship circles. And then yes, there's also mediumship circles too. Someone asked me not so long ago in an email reading, or not an email reading, just in an email. Someone emailed me as a contact and they asked if I do mediumship mentorship services, which as of right now and probably for a while, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about doing mediumship mentor stuff because I haven't done a lot of research on it personally or really looked at what other people offer. But I do know that just from my small impressions that it seems like mediumship mentor stuff is more like someone telling you what to do. Like, this is the 9-step program on how to develop your psychic abilities and stuff. And that's not really how I think your psychic abilities develop necessarily. So I did tell someone, and it's on the website under like a little note under psychic medium readings with me, that if you want more of like a spiritual guidance reading, so not necessarily focusing on past loved ones or asking questions about yourself, like psychic questions, past, present, future, knowing more things about what's going on in your life now. I do offer spiritual guidance things, which is probably the closest thing to what I would offer as a mediumship mentoring thing. Unless like Tina said, mediumship circles, again, that's for tier 4, which I believe is Cloud Plane, so $25 a month or higher. And that's where it's again in a group setting because it's Patreon. But you meet with me and a whole bunch of other psychics that are a part of the Meta Psychics Patreon, and we talk about the things that we're going through spiritually, experiences, etc. So it's much more. Jay says it's worth it. Thank you, Jay. You're very kind. Again, it's another more I would say cost effective way of finding mentorship, and it's in a communicative open formed concept, not with like people telling you what to do or giving you certain things to practice like more regimentedly. But that's kind of how I think people learn, so I'm not necessarily going to offer mediumship mentor things just yet until I think of something possibly that might be more conducive to how I think people develop their abilities, etc. But yeah, it's a little more it's cheaper and it's once a month. It's not private, it's in a group over Zoom, but it's still less expensive than like a private mediumship reading with me. So if that's something you're interested in, go check out Patreon. It's on the Meta PsycKicks website. Um, I can pin it later maybe. But other housekeeping before we get to readings, because I know someone did just purchase a medium reading, which is exciting. I appreciate that. So thank you. Um, I have a new Audience blog out. I haven't been writing blogs in a while because it's been hard to balance everything, but now I feel like I'm getting into a groove of stuff. Like I have certain childcare on certain days and then I don't have certain childcare on other days, and nap schedules are always changing, which is interesting. So when I can get work done and when I can't has been a little bit more normal, I guess. So if you guys want to go read a new blog post on Audience, because I've been saying that I've been going to come out with more blog posts about the psychic abilities in general, go check that out. It's also on the website under journal. I'm working on claircognizance because right now for Patreon, every other week I do a life update, which is more spirituality mixed with just things that are going on in my life. If you want to listen to someone else's things, Emma, dope. But I do have people asking about it's still like more mentorship things. And again, I don't think that you necessarily need someone telling you what to do. You just need the resources and the community in order to share and learn on your own so that you can grow and use that knowledge in your own sort of way. Instead of like giving someone ingredients and telling them how to bake a cake, I'm going to say, here are the ingredients. This is the premise of how to bake a cake. Now you make whatever you want. That's kind of how I view like psychic abilities and development of yourself with them. So Paper says, I agree. It's so cute. Outfit is, oh, thank you. These are actually my maternity overalls. If I stand up, I look really silly, but they're comfortable and it's cold here. So, um, anyways, I'm going to try and do blog posts in the off weeks that I'm not doing things for Patreon. So, Jay says, if I eat all the cake batter by accident, what happens? Emma says, sets kitchen on fire. Those are called learning curves, and they're okay. So that's all right. Okay, so I just wanted to tell everyone about the Clairaudience blog. Thank you so much for tuning in to the collaborations that I've been doing. I'm excited about it. I liked doing the collaboration with Live Laugh Lore. Oh, Mahesh says, hi, how are you? I think I'm one of the international email guys and I request a loved one's reading or guidelines, or maybe my dad comes through. Thanks for the early session. Oh, I appreciate that. Okay, give me a second. Um, and thank you very much, Mahesh, for your donation. I will make sure to try and give you a little mini reading as well. Doesn't mind that I set the kitchen on fire. It can be put out. It's fine. If you guys want to purchase full readings, please do so. But I do appreciate the. I'm just like blanking. It's still too early in the morning. I haven't even finished my coffee yet. Um, Please use the link that's pinned to purchase a full reading. But Mahesh, I will also try to answer your question as well. So I will keep talking about other things later. I don't want people that are waiting for a reading to wait too long because some of you are at work or you're busy because I know it's an odd part of the day. So let's do this first. I'm going to first do the reading that was purchased for Nancy. Is Nancy P here? And then we'll move on to your question, Mahesh. I promise I won't forget. I will actually take a picture of your question right now so that I don't forget it. Perfect. Because I know you're welcome. I know the chat will move and I don't want to have to not do that. So Amon says, Liv, how do your private readings work? How can we schedule a day or time? Can you please explain them quickly? Yes, I can do that really quickly. If you want to schedule a reading, you can go to metapsychics.com and under readings or services, it'll say Liv's readings. If you want to book a group reading, that would be under group services. If you do live internationally and like right now, for example, I'm only offering readings on Mondays from 1 till 5 my time, so Eastern time, and then Wednesdays in the evenings to try and still work with people's time differences in the evenings. Because like I have a lot of people from Australia that book readings with me, which is kind of fun and interesting. So the evening times are for them because that's their morning time. But if there is a date, like a Monday or a Wednesday, and you really just don't coincide with the times that I'm offering, just shoot me an email and we can try and figure out a different day or a different time or a custom date to book a reading for you. So never be afraid to reach out to me if a date or time isn't offered on the website because I will try my best to try and fix it. Mahesh says, I'm from India, Ami. I'm the only one. Okay, I get it. Ooh, Australia. Yeah. Yeah, good morning. Okay, so I am looking I'm looking for Nancy. Can Nancy answer in the chat for me? So I know where you are. Tina says, I remember the ship circles at like a o'clock for me, lol. I did change the time for mediumship circles too, to try and to make them more conducive, but I think I'm gonna have to try and change them again. Nancy P, where are you? It's okay if Nancy doesn't show up. Maybe she'll show back up. and see what's happening. Um, in the meantime, we can because she purchased her reading like a couple like 10, 15 minutes before the reading opened. Good morning from Australia. See, Amanda, I know all of you lovelies from Australia make readings with me in the evenings, and it makes me happy because I'm like, good night. And they're like, good morning. So it's good. Okay. We will circle back. I've never actually had to be in a meeting where someone said that, honestly. Um, Liv, we were trying to figure out before the stream if you play video games or not. I actually do play video games. I enjoy playing video games for like shorter amounts of time. I just don't have a lot of time to play video games. Like my brother and I, we played a lot of video games when we were younger, and my parents were divorced. So video games were a big thing at my dad's house, honestly. But I don't know. I'm one of those people where if I play video games for longer than like an hour, I start to get like angsty a little bit. Same thing with TV. If a movie is too long, I just can't do it. It might be the whole ADHD thing, but I do enjoy video games. I'm Fun fact, I'm extremely good at Wii boxing. No one can beat me in Wii boxing. I'm going to say that and I'm going to say it like with my chest because I know it's true. No one can beat me at Wii boxing. Okay, have fun, Tina. It was nice talking to you. What games? Just I don't know. I like Wii boxing. I think it's fun. I used to play because I couldn't take my animals to my dad's house because he lived in an apartment when I was little. So he got me a Nintendo for Christmas, and I would play like the dogs, the pets game. I really loved things with animals. Oh, I really liked Zoo Tycoon. um, I like yeah, Zoo Tycoon was fun because you could build the enclosures for the animals, and then they made it cooler for the computer where you could like do like shows and stuff with the dolphins. That was my fun thing. And Dora says, "This is my first live stream after listening to your podcast for a good 2 years." Oh, well, thank you for listening to the podcast because I like the podcast. I like editing videos. I think it's kind of fun. But I'm not as much of a visual person as I am just like an auditory person. So I really like podcasts personally. So the fact that you listen to the podcast, Endora, makes me really excited. um, so yeah. Okay. So while we're waiting for Nancy P to try and come back, hopefully, we are going to answer Mahesh's question. So Mahesh says, I request a loved one's reading or guidelines, or maybe my dad comes through. Thanks for the early session. Okay. And you're welcome for the early session. I'm glad you're here. It makes me happy. I've had a couple of readings from people in India as well, and it blows my mind that you guys enjoy the content that I make. So thank you for supporting. Okay. So this is for Mahesh. Mahesh, is your dad, because you said this was someone that you wanted to talk to. Is your dad more of like a medium build? He's not necessarily like chubby, but he's also not super skinny. He has like a little bit of a belly. Um but he has like a very nice like square long face, and his hair would be gray. Does that make sense? It's like short and gray or graying. Also, Mandy says, "Are you going to collab with Amanda Ray again?" I would love to. She's so busy doing hot girl stuff out in Yes, does match, not gray. Okay. If he was still alive, Mahesh, do you know if his hair would start to turn gray? If he was still alive, if that would be consistent with his age that he would be now. I'm glad you made it to the live too, PJ. Thank you. I feel like it's interesting doing lives because I'm talking and then I'm also trying to answer like comments, so it must seem silly that I'm going from one thought to the next. But Mahesh says yes, it sure does. Okay, good, because he makes me seem like he looks young for his age, but I feel like if he were alive, he would be like in his mid 50s to early 60s. So his hair is starting to gray a little bit, but he looks like he would be in his 40s, even though he just says he looks good for his age. Um, would he also have had more of I feel like he can be silly, Mahesh, but he's a little more serious, or I should say studious, because he can have fun. He can go out and hang out with the guys and laugh and maybe have a drink, but he puts business first, if that makes any sense. Also, what is his name, Mahesh, if that helps? Listening while I'm in a Zoom reading, clearly the meeting is super interesting. Yes, definitely on the serious side. Okay, because he tells me that he puts business first because it's important to take care of what you need to do before you have fun. But he's also not one that wouldn't shy away from maybe having a drink with the guys and listening to the stories that they have to have. And he has like a very hearty laugh if he does, but he doesn't laugh often. Um, he he makes me feel like there's things that you should be doing right now instead of having a mediumship reading with me, which is also why I asked if he was a little more serious because he kinda wants to be like, "Should you be doing this or do you have things that you should be doing?" Mahesh says, "It's I don't know if you can spell it Ramana Murthy, most South Indian name." Okay, that's okay. Ramana is good. Yep, that's him. Okay, because he's happy that you asked about him, but he also wants to scold you a little bit and be like, "This is not a good use of your time. Go do something actual." Did he pass from a heart attack or very suddenly? Or was he sick before he passed? He shows me like holding his chest. He's a very kind man. Emma says lol. He's someone, that even if they don't necessarily even if he doesn't agree with what someone's saying, he will keep his mouth shut and hold space for them quietly. He may give a little bit of side eye, but it's not that noticeable. Um, yes, he is from liver shutdown due to alcohol. Okay, got it. Um, so do you have any specific questions for him because he's the soul that's gonna answer questions that you have? Because I think you said something about, like, um guidance. So if you have a question, he might answer it for you. PJ, if you would like to donate whatever you can, that is fabulous. I'm not going to tell you what the price is to ask one question. I have one regarding my path to choose. Okay. He says there's three options for you. When I talk about the future, I do want you to understand, Mahesh, that I don't claim to know the future. Souls will just show me the most probable outcome based on the decisions that you are making or may not have to. PJ says, "Do I just have to follow the link? I've never done this before." Oh, PJ, if you want to book a whole reading with me, then you can do that using the link, and then there'll be like a secure thing in order to use your credit card to pay for the reading. However, if you just want to do a donation, I honestly don't know how that works. Yeah, just one quick question. If it's just one quick question, I think if you look in the chat, there's a little button that looks like a dollar sign or a money, a piece, a pay, like a dollar bill. Um, you can uh, I guess, do something that way, but I'm not entirely sure how it works because I've never done a donation thing on YouTube either. But click that, see what it takes you, and if you don't, that's okay too. No, you don't suck. You're okay. Um, okay, so when I talk about future things, Mahesh, I don't claim to know the future indefinitely. I know some mediums are like, "Oh, I can tell you the future," but I think that's audacious. I think that we have free will and our own choices. So if you change something, then you can change the outcome. However, your father shows me that there's like three paths. Two of them, he shows me them clairvoyantly, so I not physically, in my mind, I see three paths, 1, 2, 3. The one on the left and the one in the middle sort of lead to things that I can't necessarily see, but there's one on the right that shows me that there's a woman. I don't know if it's your mother or if maybe it's a marriage. I feel like it could be your mother and or linked to a marriage, and he says that that one is making you feel the most emotionally pulled to. Does that make sense, Mahesh? Souls don't always show me like exact things because I don't want to know every little bit of your life type of thing. So they'll keep it cordial. They won't tell me all your secrets. I feel like there's one where it does if it's my mom. Okay. Yeah, because there's a woman, your dad makes me feel like there's more maternal vibes to it or to this woman, so she could be she could be your mother, but that path makes you feel like it's gonna be really slow. If you choose to go down that path, it's gonna feel so, so slow, and you're kind of anticipating making more movement in your life in a more serendipitous or like, c'est la vie, what's a better word to use? Spontaneous, exciting way. And the other two pass, the ones on the left. I feel like there's one that has to do with like engineering or planes or something mechanical. Um, and that's really something that you want to do. I don't know if it has to do with getting an education about mechanics or engineering or planes or something like that. Um, but that one you want to go down because it intrigues you, but it's a little bit, yep, wanting to be crew. So, okay, got it. With that path though, that's the one to the far left that I'm seeing. If you're standing straight, there's 3 paths in front of you. The one to the far left has the mechanics and like the education to it. And then the one on the far right has to do with your mother. The one in the middle, I'm not sure about. I feel like you might have a partnership or someone who's masculine that would help you to get a job somewhere else. I don't know if it's like a family member that might give you a job or a family friend or just a friend you might open a business with, but it's more of a masculine person that would help you to get a career or a job. But that's not necessarily the way you want to go down at all. I don't know why it's in the middle. It just is interesting. But when I talk about the one on the left with getting the education or a mechanics or working with something with planes, whatever, I do just wanna say that you're oh, you figured it out, PJ, that was so kind. Um, whatever it is, that path, that one that you wanna do about being in the crew is going to come and circle back over to your mother. So even though you may not immediately go with her, that time and space that you do to take for yourself will come back and circle back around so that you can help your mother or have a relationship with your mother in the way that going and just helping your mom right now would do. So I just want you to know that even if you pick the first option, the one of wanting to be a part of the crew, um, it will circle back around and lead you back to a relationship with your mother. The one in the middle might not, because it doesn't make me feel like you're moving back to that maternal energy. So I hope that answers your question. Mahesh says, yes, there is someone who just breathes on my neck and is really close. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Got it. Okay, cool. I hope that answers your questions, Mahesh. We're gonna move on to PJ, and hopefully, um, Nancy P is here somewhere and can answer a question in the chat. So let's see. I'm gonna write Nancy's name down because there's other people too that have actually ordered readings, which I really appreciate. But PJ, I also want to answer your question. Mahesh says, "Okay, that does really make sense. Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you. I'm glad that you were able to be here today, and that having a 11 o'clock reading is good for all of our friends in India." Okay, so PJ says, "Do you? I'm sorry, Mahesh. Do you have a sister before we move on, or like a sibling?" Yes. Okay. Because right before I left, your dad was like, "Listen, I have things that I have to say now. It's not just about him." So your dad says, no matter what you do in your life, he says that you should just check in with your siblings a little bit and show them a little bit of love. And he says that you need to be a good example to them. He says, not that you're not. He just wants to remind you kindly. That's all. Okay. I think he's done. Just interrupting, which is fine. Um, Okay, so PJ says, I have a family DVD that I feel is lost in the house. It is lost and where the heck is it? Oh man, PJ, I have been searching for 2 years. It's if it's gone, it's okay, but if it's here, where is it? And Mahesh says, "Okay, I get it. Thank you." You're welcome. Dude, I'm gonna try. I'm not very good with the whole like trying to find things. Although someone did ask about like a collab with Amanda, and when before we went to New Orleans, she had called me, and we were just talking about like working with Carla, our producer, because we made a little Amazon Prime movie, which was kind of fun. But she was telling me about Carla, and long story short, she's like, I can't find my wallet and I can't find my keys. And I was able to tell her where they were. And that was like the only time that I feel like it ever really worked. And yeah, it was fun. So I'm going to try my best for you, PJ. Um, is it like a home movie? Okay. Yeah. Family DVD. It means the world to me. It's the only video of my childhood with all my loved ones that passed. Okay. Um, PJ, do you have a grandma that you were close with that's like cute as a button? She's I know this sounds rude. I've never said this before, but is she like she was very wrinkly and she had really long arms and she'd wear like little cardigans and a cute little watch on her left hand and maybe like a white like knit cardigan and she had white hair and she was kind of just like frail. PJ, yes. Okay. Um First and foremost, she wants to say hi because she says that she's in the DVD. I hope that's true. Also, Anna Magic Studios, hello. Um, I want to. Sorry, I'm trying to. Yes, she is. Okay, good. Do you have like a wooden chest that would have been on the floor that you keep things in? Like something that you'd use for blankets or comforters or just like toys, but like 1,000. Okay. Because she's showing me that the DVD could be in one of those chests, one of those brown wooden chests. It might be wrapped up in a blanket or wrapped up in something, so it's important to, like, go through everything. I have gone through this darn house. Have you gone through all of the chests, though? Because she makes me feel like it might be wrapped up in something. So, I'm sorry if you've already gone through it. I went through drawer chests. Okay. She's so kind. She's kind of just laughing in a very like old lady sort of way. Um, Upstairs or downstairs makes a difference. When I ask her, she goes like this. So I feel like it could be upstairs, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just, I love you, Nanny. She just passed. Oh, PJ, do you have children? Do you have a son, perhaps? I'm so sorry for your loss, PJ. I have three with four legs. Okay, got it. um, Anna Magic, also, I'm not ignoring you. I will try to answer your questions. I know that I got an email from you as well. I just haven't had time until today to try and answer, so I can try and answer in your email as well. Um, uh, Sorry. So many questions are going on. So when it comes to the DVD, I would look upstairs. Your grandma, also your nanny, she wants you to know that losing it, even though it might be really, really sad, she says that, and I don't want to take away from your feelings because that's your nanny says that losing it is not necessarily the end of the world. Um, she says you just have so many other things from the people that you love too. Nanny, you're wrong. I get it. I'm so sorry. She's so kind about it. Um, you actually told me about my lioness cat, the last cat a week before he was born. Oh, Liv is awesome. Thank you. I do I do I do a bit, heck Nana. Okay. Um that's interesting. Okay. I'm trying to make sense of what PJ wrote, but I'm trying to remember talking about Linus. I think I remember, but not all of it. Okay, so anyways, I'm sorry if I can't tell you necessarily exactly where the DVD is, but your nanny just wants you to know, first and foremost, she's okay. She looks at things like a very open mind. She has a lot of, ask, "Is it in a movie wrong?" Oh, like a is it in movie wrong? When I ask her, she gives me the facial, "Oh, is it in the movie room?" She goes like this, kind of. So, I don't think so. In your movie room, um is there like a TV stand that on either side there's big cupboards that open? Or big, yeah, like cupboards? Nope. Okay. Interesting. Is there a room that you have like a big china cabinet or some sort of, I don't know, I see like a big wooden standing cabinet, if you will, and in the middle there's something that sits there. I don't know if it's like glass or if it's like a china cabinet, and then on the left and right side there's stuff that opens, cabinet doors that open. I don't think there's necessarily the DVD in this, but she says there's things from your family that will help you feel better too. I don't know if it's trinkets or little things. I like old furniture and there are many. Okay. Okay. Maybe there's other things in the house though too while you're looking for the DVD that will help you to reconnect or feel more connected to your loved ones. I'm really sorry for your loss. And if you do find the DVD, you'll have to let me know. I'm sorry I can't give you a more concise answer. I wish I could. Okay. So we have people that have PJ, I hope I answered your question. Thank you. She was 92. I will for sure. Okay. 92. Just a young old age of 92. I see files like photos, but I'm a rookie. I get it. Your help is still appreciated. Okay, so Igor, I do see your question. Let me take a picture, but we do have people that also purchased readings as well. So I'm going to take a picture of your thing. We're going to go towards the people that had readings. Again, I'm going to talk about Nancy. If Nancy's in the chat, if she could come forward. Thank you, Igor. I appreciate it. Um, we're going to go through the people that purchased readings and then we'll go back to Igor's question. Hopefully, Nancy will show up and we'll keep going from there. So let's see. Melissa. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Oh, yes. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Or like the video. I'm bad at remembering to say that. Okay, Melissa. Melissa's the next person. Hello. Hi, how are you? I know we Melissa, I know we've had readings before, both on live streams and in private readings. You are the lovely individual with the older dog, right? Hanging in there. Okay, I understand. Hi, Emmy. Thank you. I should just read your question too. Yes. Oh, yes, and the cat. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Melissa says, whatever comes up, but my aunt recently passed and I wanted to see what happened and say hi to my sweet cat Marsha. Marsha just adores you guys. And I know you know that too, but I'm gonna say it again. Okay, so let's that was a crazy thing. Okay, now I 100% remember. So Melissa, do you mind if I talk about Marsha for a second? I'm so sorry. I know you miss her. She misses you too. Okay, so Melissa is a lovely individual that cares for many animals and people. And what an adorable name for a cat, right? So she has two cats. One is a boy that hangs out mostly with her son, and then Marsha. And Marsha was very important for the other animals in the house as well, the dogs that were older. And Marsha passed tragically when Melissa went out of town for vacation. But as a medium, I always talk about that souls don't necessarily need help passing over, because I've never really met a soul aside from an old video that Meta Psychics did about the Lizzie Borden house. There was a soul that I believe I helped pass over who was involved with like the murder. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Not at all how I thought that video was going to go. But so I had like a very staunch perspective on whether or not souls needed passing over. However, Marsha did pass very suddenly, very tragically, and not in a way that I think Marsha even had time to like process, if that makes sense. So it really was just like a very quick accident. And it was so odd because I was trying to connect with the soul of Marsha. And for me as a medium, and I know this can be different for other mediums, but for me specifically, um, when I see animals or people or souls on my left hand side, that signifies to me that they're in the physical world or they're helping with the physical world. So they're in the past, present, future, this energetic space of being a little bit down lower because we're in the physical world. But when I talk to souls that are passed over and they're in heaven, I always see them on my right hand side. And it was so interesting because when I was talking to Marsha, she was on my left, but I was expecting her to be on my right. So that what she was showing me clairvoyantly is that her soul was moving around the house, around Melissa's house. But it was almost like she could see the house and she could see Melissa and her family, but everything was like behind a foggy sort of fog, I guess. It was almost staticky and like thick, like you could feel it, like palpable, almost like there was like a cloth in between her and the world. And it was so, so odd. And after that, because I was like, she's passed, right? And Melissa's like, yes. I'm like, this is so odd. So it was the fact that she didn't necessarily know that she was passed. So her soul really was just like in this in between limbo sort of state, which I'd never experienced before. It was almost like half of her soul was passed, but half of her wasn't. So the interesting thing was more spiritually, so like from my spirit guides, etc. Um, I was getting information about a woman who was sending bright light to Marsha. And I was like, oh, this woman must be like in heaven or in spirit because it's trying to pull her to the other side. That's this bright light, this like orange, um, like almost golden sunlight was trying to pull Marsha to the other side. But she was so just like her consciousness, like her conscious mind was still in the physical world, but it's almost like her spiritual body was in heaven. So it's interesting to try and think about it in a way where you think about the conscious and the soul being separate but together. It's odd. Um, but there was this woman who I was almost sure was in heaven was sending this light to move Marcia where she needed to be because she passed so quickly and couldn't process what had happened. And it was actually Melissa's mom who is currently alive right now, who was just sending light to move Marcia over. Isn't that crazy? It was one of the coolest, and I'm so sorry for your loss, Melissa, but it was just a very enlightening experience, and I'd never gotten that sort of spiritual perspective before, and your mother was so powerful in her energy that it was almost like all I had to do was put the smallest little whiff of a thought towards Marcia to be like, "Hey, hey, hey, the reason everything feels so heavy and so clouded is because you're supposed to be over here." And it was just like the kindest, most gentle thing to be like, "Hey, you gotta go over here." And then boom, it was like she was right over on the right-hand side, and then I could finally talk to her because it was so hard to talk with this, like, fog around Marsha because her consciousness was here, but, like, her spiritual body wasn't. So, I will always remember that. Thank you for helping me remember that because it was such a unique spiritual experience, Melissa, and I'm so sorry about Marsha, but she is okay, and your mother's very powerful. Um, so it was just it's changing my perspective a little bit and enlightening me on the idea or concept of souls moving from this plane to the next or being stuck in how and the ways that they possibly could be. Also, Catherine, I see your message. I appreciate your your donation. I took a picture. If people could refrain from donations right now and asking donation questions, I would appreciate it because we do still have to answer Igor's and now Catherine's as well, which I will do, I promise. But I want to make sure I get to everyone else that purchased readings too. And if we have time at the end and we sell out of all of the readings, then I'll do more of the donation readings. So with Melissa, thank you for letting me share her story because I don't want to like re-upset you. But it was a very big learning moment for me. And I appreciate that. Did Marcia ever catch mice, Melissa? Did she ever like catch little things in the house? Before I move on to your question about your aunt. Also, again, I'm sorry for your loss of your aunt as well. And while we wait, and Melissa says, "Thank you, yes, all the time." Okay, because while I was talking about Marsha's story, I know we talked about her again. I didn't necessarily want to bother her because now she's like doing hot cat girl stuff in heaven. But she did just step forward and she brought a mouse. So that mouse isn't for me; it's for you. And I'm not gonna cry because it's really cute. um, it's adorable. So, um, let's try to talk about your aunt, Melissa. Is this your aunt, Melissa? Not your husband's? So your aunt is related to you? Melissa's my daughter keeps feeding like a mouse, feeling like a mouse is in her bed, but there never was a mouse. It might just be it might just be Marsha bringing a mouse to your daughter. That's really cute. um that is very cute. I'm glad we could figure that out too. Maybe now that you know about it, she'll stop feeling a mouse in her bed. Here's my gift to you. um, okay. So if Nancy never comes back, can Catherine call dibs on her spot? Yes. I'll make sure that I answer Catherine's question for sure. Is Nancy here? Did I miss it? I know, spiritual mice giving. That's very cute. I've never had that before. Okay, sorry. So Melissa says, yes, this is your dad's sister. Okay. When she was younger and or when she was older, did she dye her hair like a honey brown color and she would sit with her legs crossed in a chair and her hands folded or like placed neatly on her knees? Melissa, your aunt? I'm just making sure I'm Yes, I have a picture of her just like that. Okay, perfect, because that is exactly how she's presenting right now. She's wearing like a cream sweater. I feel like it might have had like a little bit of a higher neck or like a mock. Is that called a smock neck, maybe? Um, and she has like nice little pants on. She was the best. She also passed suddenly. Okay. She just wants you to know, first and foremost, she's okay. Her husband passed too? I'm asking her. Okay. Um, she wants you to know she has talked to her husband. She's like a very businessy sort of lady. She talked like matter of fact, like let's take care of business first type of thing. Um what questions do you have for her? She also says your dad's going to be fine. Sorry. She says your dad can sometimes be a big baby, she says, and he's going to be just fine. Um, Melissa says I just want to know if she knows what happened when she passed. Okay. When she talks about, oh, yes, I'm sorry. That is what you wrote. Um, she Oh, hi, Nisha. Thank you. God, he is a big baby. She says he's just like crying about it. And she's like, when we were kids, he would have said like the meanest things to me. And now that I'm dead, now he's boo-hooing for me. But when we were little, it wasn't a big deal. Now I'm gonna get you all this stuff. But now he's crying. Um, but she says that when it comes to her passing, she just wants to say you said that she passed suddenly. However, she doesn't necessarily feel that it is as sudden as it was. Um, and her specification of that is that she might have known things that were going on medically with her. However, she didn't feel that it was a big deal and or she decided to not take action towards it for whatever reason. So she just wants you to know that she may have known what was going on, but she may have kept it more of a secret to the family. So when she did pass, it did seem sudden, but I do think that she had an inkling or an understanding of what was going on, so it wasn't as big of a sudden passing for her. I hope that answers your question. Right now, we're doing for people that are just coming here, we're doing paid readings. If you'd like, you can go to the pinned message at the top and you can purchase a reading. And if all of the readings end up being sold out, then we're going to go back to donation readings. We have two right now with Igor and I think it was Catherine. But for right now, please refrain from doing donation questions just because I want to make sure I get to everybody. And if I have too many, then I don't wanna have to leave and have you donate and not have things. If you wanna make a donation without a question, that is also very kind of you, but you do not have to. Okay, so Melissa says, "Yes, that makes sense. She went to the doctor the day before, but they released her, then she passed on the sidewalk after a walk." Okay, got it. Emmy says they're definitely sold out. Well, that's very kind. I appreciate that. Um, okay. Yeah, she was it sunny outside though when she was going for a walk? Okay, Melissa says yes. She just wants you to know that when she did pass, she shows me that it was sunny outside and the last I'm not going to cry. It's fine. I can be a big girl. Cuz your aunt is like saying these things without being emotional. She's like she looks like she's giving a TED talk in her chair. um She says that when she passed, the last things that she remembers was she was looking up. She could see that the sky was bright and sunny, and her mother, I believe, is the one that came to get her from heaven to help her pass. Because there's a woman that I can see above me. I hope that answers your question, Melissa, and I'm very sorry for your loss. Oh, good. She was her mother's caretaker. Oh, that's very cute. That's very, very cute. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. It's really sweet. All of these sweet, sweet stories. Um, oh, no, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, but it's nice to be able to talk to souls that are just very contently in heaven. Dude, it has been a rough year. So many changes, lots of unexpected things. But we're all making through it. All right. So thank you very much, Melissa. And for everyone that's tuning in, please remember to like if you like this or, give a little heart thingy. I think that's how it works. But we're going to move on to the next reading, which is a medium reading for, mm, let's see. I think only the medium readings are sold out, but there should be pet psychic readings if you're interested in a pet psychic or plant psychic reading if you're interested in a plant psychic reading. Again, we're looking for, I believe it's Nancy P, if Nancy also wants to step forward for your reading. Okay, so for the meeting readings. Oh, Emmy, that's very kind. Um, I know I just want to make sure. Emmy L, you're here? Yes. I think it says Emmy on your thing. Oh, Emmy, yes. Okay. Let me see. How do I? Okay, cool. You are here. Perfect. All right. So Emmy says, I did a reading with you a year and a half ago, and you heard from a past life where I'd been married to my husband. Her story was wild. Does she have any more to tell me? Oh, I don't remember that. So in this past life, you were married to the same husband that you were married to in this life? Is that what it was? I'm just gonna wait till you answer. Yes, apparently she was like lower class and he was noble. Ooh, fancy. Very, very cool. Hi, Miss Tammy. Hello. I've been seeing that you enjoy the YouTube videos and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Um, okay. So, do you remember if I told you she had brown hair? You describe how we'd been lifting each other up through lifetimes. That's really sweet. That's really cool. I'm sorry I don't remember. There's a woman stepping forward and she does look like she's like lower middle class and more like yeah, lower middle class. And she has like long brown hair and it would have been more like Edwardian times. You didn't tell me anything more than that about who we were. Okay, got it, got it, got it. That's all right. Um, do you have a cat in this life, Emmy? Or do you have a cat right now? That's a Is that why I'm so into Edwardian times? It very much could be. Because I was going to say Victorian, and she's like, no, no, no. It's before that. It's Edwardian times. And I was like, okay, got it. I will tell you the right thing. Emmy says, yes, my cat is 15. So this woman is telling me your past life that you also had a cat in this Edwardian life with your husband. I feel like the cat was a boy though. So I don't know if the cat is still a boy in this life, or if they're a girl. But in the life that you had with this past life, they were like I feel like they were a gray and cream, like stripy cat. Not necessarily a tiger stripe, but kind of like very gray and cream. But they were a boy. So I feel like the cat that you had in that life is also the cat that you have in this life, which is interesting. Why are you having such similar lives? Usually when I talk to people about past lives, their lives are like very, very different from the lives that they had before. Loving all the cats today. Cats are ridiculously spiritual. It annoys me. Let me see. I've been having the worst stuffy nose. Maybe that's like a TMI, but um okay, so that is just the other thing that your past life has to say. I do feel like the cat that you had in this Edwardian life is also the cat that you have now or similar. Even though they may have been a boy, they might be a girl in this life. I feel like you're just writing a really long response, which is why it's taking a little bit longer. I could be wrong. Oh, just 2 exclamation points. Okay. Um, oh, it's telling me to engage with my audience and start a Q&A or start a poll. I don't wanna do that. We're just talking. Cats are yes, paper flower. Cats are ridiculously spiritual. It annoys me. Um, sometimes I will talk to people that have cats and past loved ones will use cats in order to, like I don't say this, like, in a like, they're doing it maliciously way, but, like, spying on their family. Um, but yeah, cats have been used in lots of spiritual ways. Oh, more of like a Reiki thing. Also, Amanda says, "Thank you for your time, Liv. I wish I could stay longer, but I need to sleep. Wishing you all the love and light and comfort." Aw, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. I hope you have sweet dreams. I've been having very interesting dreams, so I hope you have non-interesting, comforting dreams. Um, Emmy said, "You also said our daughter was a boy in a past life too, so I'm just running in circles." That is so interesting. It's so similar, but like the little nuanced differences are interesting. Maybe like maybe you learned what you were supposed to learn in that past life, in that like the Edwardian time, but now you're supposed to learn like similar things, but in like it's like an updated version. Like you need to learn the same or similar things, but in the Windows 2025 version. So that's kind of cool. You also told me that my husband and our daughter were parent and child. Husband in the past life killed in a natural disaster, and now they're living the life they're supposed to have. Oh, I remember that one. Was that one in an email reading? Possibly, because I think I remember that one too, because it was cool. And that thing you told me has gotten me through a lot of hard times and sleeping nights, knowing I'm giving them this gift. You are giving them a gift. No, it was in person. Me and Katie did a Mother's Day reading. Okay. That's so cool. I'm trying to like remember your faces in the reading. Oh, I'm sorry if I don't. Okay, let me answer the rest of your question. Let's see. Oh, I think you told me this too in the reading, and I don't remember if I could give you an answer. There are women who live rent free in my head, murder cases, Titanic victims. Why am I drawn to their lives or deaths, and what are their lessons for me? Oh, I don't know if I can answer that question. Catherine. Hi, I'm Katie. Hi. I so with when I read your question and we're talking about past lives, Emmy, um, yes, I asked about this but didn't pay. I don't remember. That's okay. So this question, when I read your question, since we're talking about your past lives already, there's a man who steps forward and he gives me very much like Titanic era vibe. So like what, 19, wasn't that like 1927? I think no. 1927 was, I always get it confused if it's 27 or 47, but maybe I'm just I'm right. I'm looking it up. Oh, 1912. Okay, so even earlier. Okay, got it. So there's a man. He's more like 1912, early 1900s. He has dark hair, like dark brown, almost black hair. He has like the cool swishy mustaches that come up at the side. Like they'd put a little bit of like wax in their mustache to keep it up. So just the mustache there, but he's wearing like a dark brown or chocolate colored hat, like the newsy hats where it like has the little brim, but then it sits close to the head on the top and it like bubbles out just a little bit. So a bit of a newsy hat. With the same, he's wearing like a it's not a corset, that is a woman's thing. Um, like a vest where it buttons down the middle, with like matching brown trousers, and the little shoes and like the socks that go over a little bit, like over the top of the pants. But I feel like he did photography and he did news things. So this is not an entire answer to your question because I cannot answer all of the. Yeah, I can see exactly what you're talking about. Okay, good. um, so he shows me that when big events happened, he would come with his camera. And it was one of the cameras where like you put the big like I don't know the name for it, but like the blanket over your head and the camera sitting on the tripod, and when you took the picture there was the puff of smoke. That's like the era he was from. And he did news stories and pictures and did all of the big stuff that was happening when newspapers and things were starting to become more important and popular. And that is one of possibly the many reasons that you feel so inclined towards these people and these cases, because it's something you were very inquisitive and wanted to know everything about everything in a past life. And it carries into this life, specifically in the same sort of way, because I think he covered cases like that, like murders and tragedies and accidents, because it was the stuff that got the people going. So I hope that answers your question. Is that all of the reasons why you may be interested in those things? Probably not, but that is the one answer that I'm receiving to the smaller or bigger picture. It was a true I was a true crime dude. Yes, you were like one of the OGs of the true crime dude. Like you would set out the newspapers on the stories that would bring people into like the sites. Like you know how people I know this is kind of morbid, but people were morbid back then. I was reading a story about a man who ended up it's a sad story. He was a little bit like Nietzsche's. Did you guys ever hear about Nietzsche's story? So, Nietzsche's was like a world-renowned thinker, and his ideas of the conscious and the work. Hi, Tina. I hope your meeting was good. um, his ideas on the conscious mind and thought and consciousness itself didn't become more popular until after he passed. But he was like he is still known as a huge contributor to modern day thinking and the understanding of the human mind. Um, but what happened to him was one day when he got older, after doing all of these really, really awesome things for just how we perceive the world and people around us, he Emmy says, I did want to be a reporter for a while when I was like 14. That's probably why. Your past life is cool. But so Nietzsche's, he was walking through the streets. I don't remember where, it was a city, but there was this guy that was just like mercilessly like beating a horse for a horse and carriage. And Nietzsche's lost his mind. He ran over and like took the whip and the things out of this man's hand and like threw them away and then started trying to comfort the horse. And then after that, he fell into like a depression spell that was so big that they committed him and he ended up dying in an asylum. Isn't that crazy? So like that's the kind of stuff that I feel like Emmy's past life would have what is it, reported on. Or like the old murder cases where like someone died and then they reported it in the newspaper and then everyone would come around and like try to like storm the building and like take pieces of the building. They're like, "Oh my goodness, someone died a tragic death in here. I have to take like pieces of their couch cushion." Like that type of era. So, people used to be very morbid and weird. I mean, I guess we are just maybe in different ways. I don't know. Okay. So I believe that was all of the medium readings that I had for today. Let's see if anyone else has purchased a pet or plant reading. If not, that is okay. Do 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 do. I don't believe so. This is the last call for Nancy P. Is Nancy here? And if not, Nancy, your question was just want to see what they say. Thank you. I will keep that open for the next medium live stream that I have or a live stream like this. I keep like little sticky notes and stuff because when we do, I know I talked about this at the beginning of the live stream, but I do Patreon live stream readings every month. And I always keep little tiny post-it notes on my computer about who has priority because we do like intuition games or whoever wants to go as tribute and like oh no after you sir to pick who's going to get picked in the live streams for each month to have their own reading with me. But Nancy, I will make sure that I add you to one of these so that in the future, at least for one more live stream, your reading will be good and I will try to remember that. Because stuff happens, but I appreciate your support. And you will be on my sticky note for the future live stream if you want to redeem your reading then. Okay, but if people don't want to purchase the pet readings or the plant readings, that's okay. Let's do our people that we are waiting for. So first and foremost, that is going to be Igor. Igor, your question from Brazil says, sorry for not being able to fully book or pay you right now. It's okay. That's why I do these things. That's why I offer the different stuff, the live stream readings and then the Patreon stuff. It's just, I get it. I get it. I'm always looking for deals too. Okay. So I wanted to know, I've been through crazy hard times and only now things seem to be opening up. I'm wonder if any guidance will come forward. Okay. So just about like hard times changing and stuff like that. Ashley says, would you ever react to Kesha's ghost hunting show? Kesha has a ghost hunting show? What? I'm sorry. People were talking about collabs and things like that. That is so funny. I'll have to look into that. I'm writing it down. Okay. Kesha ghost hunts. It's called Conjuring Kesha. I can't. Okay, I will try. Other people have been asking me to do reaction videos to other creators and things like that. Like I think there was the Try Guys, maybe, and like more of like a modern show. But that's hard because it comes under copyright infringement. So you can have 10-second or less clips of something in order to do a reaction video, and you don't want to have more than that unless you are giving commentary, which on YouTube I would be giving commentary for a show. However, it's just like YouTube uses a lot of automatic integrated systems to do copyright checks on videos. So even if I'm reacting to the video in like 15-second clips and things like that, it could still get, even though it's for giving critique and criticism or comments, whatever, constructive criticism on a video, YouTube will be like, oh no, you can't do this. Oh no. So I have to be careful with that kind of stuff just because it takes a lot of time to make videos and edit them, and I want them to be good and not cause problems on the YouTube channel, if that makes any sense. So, I will try to do those things. I'm just the last thing Emmy said was, "That explains so much about how and why I had a true crime face." Your past life is funny. I can't do it anymore after my kid was born, my brain was rewired, and I just cannot watch this or cannot with this. Oh, me too, even before my kid was born, but yeah, that's why I like podcasts instead of videos because I can listen to true crime things, but I cannot watch them. It's very hard for me. Okay, so back to Igor. Yes, hard financial times, father and mother having big life changes and events happening. I'm also transitioning, starting to get more and more spiritual and not getting work in animation for a while. Okay. Um, but things are getting better, which is good. Igor, do you have a grandmother who's passed, on perhaps on your dad's side, but I'm not sure entirely. Mother's side. Okay. Got it. She says something that could help you with the things that are going on in your life and all of the big life changes that are happening is making a list. She says it's almost like with all of these changes happening, you are trying to deal with them alone through your mind. So she shows me more clairvoyantly, like a clairvoyant representation of like having all of these thoughts coming at you. Um, And she said, "It's not that you can't handle them, you just need to be able to wrangle them." So instead of allowing them to feel overwhelming to you, if you're able to take all of the things that you're thinking and slow them down by being able to write them out, it will help you from feeling so overwhelmed. It's almost like a whole room of people are talking to you at one time. These are like the thoughts that you're having about the changes and things that are going on in your life, but you need to be able to say quiet, one person talks at a time. And she says, so in order to do that, or one of the ways you can do that is by writing the things down. Um, you can try journaling if you want to, but you don't have to. Even if you just make a list, and when things start to get overwhelming or one of those things that are on your list pops into your head, Find another piece of paper and start writing down the things that are in your head about what you have as problems, as solutions, the pros and the cons, etc. But she says you're going to be able to move forward faster because you are moving forward. But she says you're going to be able to move forward faster if you can prioritize and pin down the things that are causing you all of this sort of like mental anguish or craziness. Yes, it makes so much sense. Okay, good. Because she says you really can, you are going to move forward. Things are going to continue to get better, but don't let them overwhelm you. You have the power to tell all of those thoughts to sit down for a second. Emma says, you got this, Igor. Yes, you can do it. So moving forward, that is her, that is the guidance that she has for you. Just try to do one thing at a time. And that's really hard for me. I literally wrote down today the things that I have to do because I will be like, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this and I have to do that. And then it gets overwhelming and I just jump from one thing to the next and I have to really just do one thing at a time. So you're welcome. Igor says, thank you, Emma, and thank you, Liv. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is really sweet plate paper flower. Emma is a very kind human being. And so are you. I've been watching your comments as well. So, okay. Thank you very much for that question and for your support. I'm going to make sure that we don't have any other readings coming in and then we're going to move on to Christine's question. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Catherine. I'm so sorry I keep calling you Christine. I'm such a stinker. I'm really bad with names. Igor says, thank you, Granny. Never got to meet her. My mom misses her so much. Um, she just says that you're a good boy. um, it's very kind. She doesn't talk very much. I just wanted to ask if she wanted anything else to say, and she just said that you're a good boy. And she went like this with her hand, and she kind of like walks off. So I'm sorry, she doesn't have more to say. Um, okay, so moving on to Catherine. Thank you so much, Catherine, for being so patient. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do maybe another half hour, 20 minutes of this. So if anybody wants to do a donation question, please let's do 3 or 4 more. And if not, that's okay too. We can also just ask questions and like general like spiritual questions if you want. Okay, so Catherine says, "Hi, Liv. Does my father-in-law have a message?" Oh, okay. Um, father-in-law. Emma. Oh, I like that you guys are wanting to do play Minecraft together. That's really cute. um, okay, so oh no, you also don't have to be sorry, Catherine. With your father-in-law, was he kind of a big burly guy? Was he very masculine? I'll just wait. I think if I played Minecraft, I would just have an entire farm of all of the animals I possibly could have. Oh, fun fact, guys, really quick. My friend sent me this. Um, I guess there's a library in Minecraft that is like free for people to use because there's some countries that are having censoring, I don't know, the books and things like that. And there's a library in Minecraft where people from all over the world are. Okay, a giant virtual library now exists inside Minecraft, filled with articles, journals, and press freedom reports from countries where media is censored. The design is elaborate, a grand neoclassical style architecture with halls dedicated to different nations. Um, so if you guys want to find that, go find it. It's called the Uncensored Library, created by Reporters Without Borders in Minecraft. So do with that what you will. Um, so Catherine says semi-tall but more artsy. Okay. He could be very methodical and was good with tools and stuff too. So sense he was stereotypically masculine, I guess. Okay, that's all right. Um, I see you, Emma. I got it. Um, did he wear glasses, Catherine? And was he like bald on the top of his head, but not on the sides? Okay, and the magic. I will take a picture so I do not forget. Okay. So many typos on my end. No to the glasses, but my husband and his son wears glasses. Yes, bald on top mostly. Okay. Father-in-law. What is his name? I'm just trying to connect with him. I feel like maybe someone else is coming through and I'm just trying to, when it comes to mediumship, like fine tune the signal, if you will. Because I see a man who's a little bit smaller. He's like bald on the top of his head, but not on the side. He's wearing like jeans and like a button down flannel shirt. Raymond. Okay. I appreciate it. And he has like a masculine sort of energy to him, but there was someone else coming through that was a little more like outwardly masculine in a pushy way, but I don't feel like Raymond is pushy. Raymond is more quiet and reserved. Do you have a specific question for him? What's with trains? Does your husband like trains or your son? Or your husband, yeah, your husband's son? What's with like little toy trains or like the trains that are like robotic trains? I had a grandfather who died before I was born, so who knows, maybe this man is him. Hmm. It's hard. Do you know if trains would be into anything or no? Like the little trains that are like the battery powered trains. My son 3 loves anything that moves. Okay. I feel like this is Raymond. Um he's just very quiet. Noisy cricket. I wouldn't know what to ask, so I'll continue to lurk. That's okay. Um but we don't have trains, mostly monster trucks. Okay, that's all right. Very well could be. I see a train on a track and it's one of the little battery powered trains. I don't know if it's something that maybe your husband and his dad would have when they were younger. But it's a yellow train and there's like maybe 2 or 3 cars behind it, maybe 4, and it's going around on a little track, but it's on a table. I don't know. I don't think it's Christmas time. It doesn't feel Christmassy. I just feels like maybe it was a thing that they did when they were little. Um, so maybe that's just significant to your husband. Maybe it's more of like a messenger reading for you. So you're asking about your husband's dad, but maybe your husband has to know more about it than you, if that makes sense. I know I don't mean to do that in a weird way. Sometimes I do readings for people and you think the reading's going to be more about you, but you're just the person that is supposed to tell someone else about what loved ones have to say. Um, but that could be wrong. Um, Do you have a specific question for him? I wrote my husband a card on the first anniversary of his dad's death, and I found it the other day, and I thought maybe he was trying to tell me something. Okay. No, it's fine. I'll ask him. Okay, perfect. Cool. Um, Okay, so that makes sense why you're asking the question. Raymond says that you finding the card that you gave your husband on the first anniversary of his dad's death has more to do with you than it does him. So whatever he more like clairvoyantly, clairsentiently, and claircognizantly. So images, thoughts, and emotions. He shows me that the substance of the card, whatever it is that you wrote to your husband and the emotions that you had while you were writing it, are important to things that your husband sort of needs to hear and feel and recognize from you more so than from your dad. Does that answer your question? So it's more about you and your husband and less about his dad. Kind of, yes. Okay. Because his dad's very quiet. I don't think it's necessarily that he's not okay with mediumship. He just doesn't there's not much that he can say. I had written him a poem sort of. Oh, okay. So it might just be something that you about how his dad is still here. Oh, that's really sweet. Maybe that's something that he needs to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like how I feel like our conversation keeps going back to how your husband might need to spend some time with his dad, which he's still here. So maybe that's just something that your husband needs to be reminded of. Hence the trades, maybe. I don't know. It might be something that they did when he was a kid. It looks very like 70s, 80s trains. Yes, that makes sense. Maybe he needs to be reminded. I will ask him about the trains. Okay, cool. Because my husband and I just got done watching ET with our son because we've been trying to get into like the spooky season a little bit with our 2-year-old. And he's showing me that it would have been like ET era-esque kind of the train because it has that sort of timed vibe. I love ET. It is really cute. I don't remember. I've never watched it as an adult, only as a child, and it is pretty adorable. So, um, okay. I really appreciate, Catherine, your patience. Yeah, Hub is 45-ish, so that tracks. Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I just think that maybe your husband needs to be reminded a little bit about his dad and how he's still here, just in a different way. And that is why all of this has led you to here, or at least finding the card. You can take me out of the equation. I'm just here to try and help. So that's cool. I like that. So I hope I was able to answer your question a little bit, and I really appreciate your donation. Every little bit helps. So okay. Does anyone do I have another one? Oh yes, I have one more question. You're welcome, Catherine. I really appreciate it. And you're very patient, so thank you. Okay, one more question from Anna Magic Studios, and then we're gonna call it a day because I gotta go try and edit some more videos. um, so I read your email briefly, but not through the whole thing, Anna Magic. But Anna Magic says, "Do you have a message for me? As I said, my daughter sees things. What should I do?" First and foremost, Anna Magic, are you okay? YouTube won't let me donate. Oh, that's kind of rude. It's okay. I still appreciate you, Tina. You don't have to donate. None of you have to donate. I just appreciate you being here. If you want to hit the like button, that helps. So, um, so Anna Magic, if you're still here, let me ask: is your daughter under the age of, let's just say, like 12? You don't have to give me a specific age because this is the internet and I don't want people to be weird. But is your daughter under the age of 12? Of course, Tina. I appreciate you. Tina the deity stepping into their power. Anna Magic says yes. Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to seeing things, um, as a parent, my mother, I'm just gonna tell you my my experience because this might help you, in my opinion. So when I was a child, when I was 8 years old, I started seeing people that weren't physically there without faces. Their faces just looked like smudgy kind of. So I couldn't make out their facial features. And they would just stand there. It's very imposing to me. And at that point in time, I believe I had psychic abilities, not necessarily mediumship, because I couldn't communicate with them. I could just see them and I could feel very anxious about it. Um, Now, when it comes to children and animals, though, children and animals, and when I said the age of 12, I said that specifically because I think, kids can be more imaginative and work against the socioeconomic cultures that we have. Um, to maybe say age 15, 16, because there's still kids that are like 14, 15, 16 that want to go trick or treating and still really embrace um, childlike wonder, if you will. So, when it comes to your ego, which is your sociocultural perception of the world, what society and your place within it teaches you, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, about how to think about the world and interpret it around you. That is what I mean by ego and sociocultural perception. For children and pets or animals, your ego doesn't develop or form, or the thoughts that society sort of puts on you doesn't form, I would say, just to be on the safer side, is like 12. So when children perceive metaphysical or paranormal things, or animals do, it's quote unquote, in my eyes, it could be normal because they don't have their ego. So they don't have people telling them, like, oh, your Nana's not just standing in the corner of the room. Or if they do, their brain still doesn't shut it off in the same way because they're open to it. They have that wonder, if you will. So when I started seeing people and I was 8, I told my mom about it. I was lucky because my mom was also a psychic medium. At that point in time, she had never embraced her mediumship abilities. However, um, me as her daughter telling her these things forced her to start to understand and learn about what those things could be. Because as a parent, you start thinking, or at least I would, I'd be like, does my child have mental health instabilities? So when it comes to children, I do think up until a certain age, depending on the things that the things that they're saying, um, can be acceptable. It could be just normal that your children up into a certain age are experiencing those things. But then you also have the concern of is it not normal? Is it not paranormal? Is it not spiritual? And I totally understand that. So when it comes to your daughter right now, before the age of 12, I don't think as long as she's not telling you things that are very concerning, like this person's telling me to hurt someone, that's concerning. I never had that as a child. Or I can't make the voices go away. For me, when I saw souls standing there in the corner of the room, it would freak me out. I would get like an anxious sort of feeling because I would just see them, but I couldn't talk to them. They wouldn't move. They would just stare. And my mother would tell me, you can tell them to leave, which is true. Whether you have psychic abilities or not, you are always in control of the situation. There is nothing more scary than you, honestly. So if there's something that's bothering your daughter, or she doesn't necessarily want to be in her space, she has the ability to tell them to go away. And 9 times out of 10, that worked for me as a child. And those things would just dwindle away. And then I would realize, oh, they're not there anymore. And I'd go on with my day. I wouldn't hyper focus on them. I wouldn't hyper fixate on them. So if your daughter's perceiving things and they're not scary, she's like, oh, I saw a man like walk through the wall and he just went away somewhere. Or I saw an old lady on the street. Or, my grandmother I saw in the corner of my room, or she was sitting downstairs while you were eating dinner. Things like that, I would say, is okay. But if it starts to affect her everyday life, then maybe that's when I would contact someone else to have her talk about them. But as long as you are open to listening to what she has to say and not necessarily redirecting it in a way, just be like, oh, that's very interesting. I mean, like if my son came up to me today and was like, Mama, there's a man in the corner of the room, I'd be like, that's very nice. Thank you. But I don't think I would necessarily, quote unquote, do anything about it. I hope that answers your question. Does it answer your question, Anna Magic? Because, when it comes to children and animals with having that lack of ego, that childlike wonder, if she is not a psychic medium and it persists past the age of 12 and starts to change and develop in different ways, then that's when I think you should reach out to someone that is another psychic or medium or a spiritual advisor. I would say maybe more of a spiritual advisor than anything else. Like, for example, I know this is a really silly thing and it's kind of my mom's story and not mine. But when I started seeing things, it freaked out my mom and she had always just ignored it. Anna Magic says, I am open and she knows she is in control. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So then, as long as you are there to listen to her and not necessarily tell her what to do or how she should feel or say, oh, you're a psychic medium, you have to do all these things, I would definitely not do that because it could go away when she gets older, because that's usually how it goes for people. Um, but so just to go back a little bit, my mom was freaked out. And because I started having things, she's like, I need to figure out my own psychic abilities and help my daughter and or figure out if this is actually a mental illness and it isn't what I used to experience as a child. So my mom got desperate. And when I was little and started having these things, do you guys remember the Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo? I hope she goes deeper into it, but that's her choice. Perfect. That's a very good way to look at it, Anna Magic. Um, but do you guys remember Patricia? No. Do you remember Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium on TLC? My mom didn't know anyone else to try. Paper Flower. Yes, I remember her. Okay. That's kind of like when my stuff started happening and my mom felt like she needed to try and figure things out. So in addition to going to metaphysical shops and just asking people things, my mom did some like deep digging on who Teresa Caputo like had as like a mentor and was able to find out who she was. And I don't necessarily want to talk about it because I don't know if it's necessarily, I don't want to like talk about the people that were related to uh the Long Island medium. Why I just said her name like 8,000 times and now I can't remember. But anyways, my mom found her spiritual advisor. So this woman who was Teresa Caputo's mentor, for lack of a better word, wasn't necessarily a psychic medium herself, but she had a sister who was. And that's kind of how Teresa ended up going into her sphere, because when things started happening, I don't remember the whole story, but Teresa ended up going to this lovely woman who was her spiritual advisor. And this woman was not a psychic medium, but instead, like I said, was a spiritual advisor. So if things start to progress, I would find someone that says that they're like a spiritual advisor, because although they're not a psychic medium, I don't know. I have so many people come to me and they're like, I went to a psychic medium and they told me that I'm a psychic medium and I have to do these things about it. And I'm just like, that just overwhelms me and gives me a little bit of like a non-trustworthy feeling towards those people, because I don't think that if you have psychic abilities, you have to necessarily do like what I'm doing. You can use your psychic abilities in lots of different ways. So I would be more inclined to find a spiritual advisor because they could help her in different ways than I think someone who's a little more egotistical about it might want to, i.e., being like, this is what you should do. You have the powers. You have to use them this way. So, and I think that's kind of what Teresa's spiritual advisor did for her. And my mom was able to talk to her spiritual advisor. And I don't know. I think that's kind of cool because they talked on the phone because they live very different states. But they talked on the phone multiple times just as a spiritual advisor and someone who wanted to know if they were a psychic medium and if and what they should do. And the spiritual advisor was never telling my mom what to do, but she's like, I'm listening to you. I understand you. And I do think that you have psychic abilities. But if you want to do this, then maybe this is what you should do. And if you don't want to do it, then maybe you should do this. And anyways, that's what I have to say. So Anna Magic says, I'm working on understanding my chakras. Heck yeah, go for it. Chakras are really cool. I want to learn more about Reiki, and I feel like Reiki and chakras are very intertwined. So maybe we'll do something like that in future content. But Paper Flower says, really quick question. Can you just name your spirit? guide anything, will they be okay with it or do they prefer their specific names? Okay. I like this question. Um, there I like this question. It's a question that I get often, and it's my answer I think is different than other people. So I I feel like at one point in time I got names for my spirit guides, but let's talk about what spirit guides are, at least in my understanding of it, real quick. So your spirit guides are spiritual beings or souls who are spiritually tied to you in the way that they're here to guide you while you are living a physical life. They're not here to tell you what to do. They're just kind of like the group project people, like in school when you have to do a group project, you're the one presenting for the project, and they're the ones in the back of the classroom holding up signs like, "You're doing a good job, sweetie." Like you all worked on the project, but you're presenting, you're living the physical life, and they're in the back to help support you and keep you on topic and make sure that like you do a good presentation type of thing. But they're not like if you end up biting it and don't do a good thing or have a good presentation, there's nothing that they can really do about it. Paper says that's cute. It is because a lot of people have asked me too, like, don't my spirit guides love me? My life is so terrible. Like, they are supposed to fix it for me, right? No, they're not supposed to fix anything. They're there to help support you. But at the end of the day, you have free will and it's your control. So if you decide to just completely do something different than what they're trying to help you with or whatever, that's totally up to you. So when it comes to spirit guides, I know people are like, I can tell you their names, which maybe they really can. But names are a very human thing. We give each other names to identify one another. But really, like, do other beings or organisms give each other names? Don't talk about whales. Whales, I know, and like dolphins give each other names or sounds that they associate to one another. But if you think about it, names are a very human thing to do. And when we're talking about spirit guides, yes, spirit guides can be souls that you've had past lives with. And at that point in time, they may have had names, but do we really know what the names were? It's really hard to try and pinpoint that. So, and if they're a spiritual being, does that spiritual being have a name because they're more of a spiritual being and not necessarily a human soul that existed at one point in time? So it's a very abstract concept to try and understand. So when I asked my spirit guide this question, there is we have the word nickname, right? Because your nickname, like my name isn't Liv. That's my nickname. My actual name is Olivia, but I do answer to Liv. So nickname, if you look at like how the word nickname came to be, I think it's like Nike Name, but it has to do with like a name that is your name but isn't your name, but is a name. I have to look it up to have like more of a put together cohesive answer. But basically what is what is that stupid I shouldn't say stupid, it's not stupid. The the quote from Shakespeare is does a rose by any other name smell just as sweet? That is the answer that I got to the question as well as the little tidbit of fun facts that I have in my brain about what a nickname is. It doesn't take away from your spirit guides if you give them a name that is more of a nickname. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Right. So a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. Your spirit guides by any other name would still be your spirit guides. It doesn't take anything away from them. Okay, good. Paper flower. Ah, good to know. Yes. So a nickname is not a name. It does not degrade that person or that spiritual being. It is still a part of their identity or they identify as that. So if you would like to name your spirit guides, who's to say that the name that you give to them is not the correct name? And usually nicknames are given to people out of love. So I don't know, sometimes people's nicknames they like better than their real names. My I had an old great aunt and her name was Edna. Edna May. And she's like my mom tells me this story that she always asked and she would grumble like, "Why didn't my mother name me May Edna? Because Edna's a terrible name." But a May is a great name. So she'd always go my May, and she liked to be called May and Aunt May, but not Edna. So when it comes to naming your spirit guides, the same applies. If you want to name them something, go for it. You have the best relationship with them, better than any person on the internet or elsewise could tell you. But if you do like the name that someone else gives you, then go for that too, because that could be their name or it could be another nickname. So I hope that answers the question. Let's see. OMG, I had a grandmother who was named Edna May. That's awesome. Did she go by Edna or did she go by May? I need to know. That grandmother went by Sue. Okay, see? Sue. She didn't like her name, or she just liked Sue. So, you know, does a rose by any other name smell just as sweet? Yes, yes, it does. You could call it your foot, and it still smells like a rose. So, all right. Oh, Mahesh, before we leave, Christine says, "How do you start to interpret what they're trying to tell you?" Oh my goodness. That's a really good question. Um, It's gonna be different for every person. When it comes to psychic abilities, I believe everyone has psychic abilities. Whether you want to dub yourself a psychic or a medium or an intuitive, whatever, I also believe is up to you. I can have my own opinions about that, but I don't think I have the power to tell anyone that. But when it comes to psychic abilities and mediumship, those all of those things work differently. Like in mediumship circle last month for Patreon. Again, if you guys are interested in joining Patreon to have monthly mediumship, or I do house, pet, plant, or mediumship readings. I You could have any type of reading you want for the Patreon lives. That's $15 a month, so $15 for a reading with me and other people that ask really cool questions. um, and it's over Zoom, so I'm actually like talking to you. Or mediumship circle, we just talked about this last month in mediumship circle, and that's $25 a month for one-on-one like mediumship questions with me. I talked about how clairsentience can be is transmuted the right word? Maybe translated so differently for other people. So, for example, for me and how my abilities work, I get a lot of clairsentient and clairvoyant information. Claircognizance has been getting more strong for me because your psychic abilities can change. They're not stagnant. They ebb and flow. But we were talking about how having a soul tell you that they're a mother can happen in very different ways. For example, um, someone asked about a collaboration with Amanda. Amanda's gifts work very differently than mine. She sees people clairvoyantly, but physically in front of her. So if she sees someone that's a mother, maybe she visually actually just knows that they're a mother. But for me, I get the feeling of what it feels like when I associate someone as being a mom. So, like, if I were to ask you, you're growing up, right? And you go to your friend's house and their mom walks in, what kind of feeling do you have when you associate with someone being someone's mom? However, there are some times where clairvoyantly I will see the word mother in white on a black background in my head, and that tells me that they're their mother. But it's mostly clairsentient. So when it comes to Christine, how do you start to interpret what souls or what they're trying to tell you? There's not one answer. That really is like sitting down and trying to figure out what psychic abilities you have, how you interpret the world with your five physical senses. Because the way that your brain works to interpret the world around you physically is going to be very similar to how your brain interprets metaphysical information and perceives that information with psychic abilities instead of physical abilities. I hope that kind of answers your question. And then Mahesh says, "Hey, quick question. Is it possible for you to make a video about last life as human? Because there is someone in my family who believes that this could be my last as a human." Huh. Yes. That might be a very short video, but that also might be a video that I could do with my mom as like a mini collaboration, because my mom's been on videos before, but I think she might be able to answer that question and has opinions about it. So Okay. Christine says, interesting. Thank you. I feel like my guides are trying to tell me something, but I just can't quite figure it out. Same, girl. Same. And that's all right. So, yes, bring your mom on videos. She would love to talk about everything. My mom loves to talk. And I think it's interesting too because she's older and the readings that she's done for people, she always does in-person readings. I think she's done a couple phone readings with people um from like metapsychics that I've wanted to reach out with her, but it's cool cuz she's in her late 50s. So it's always interesting to have different like eras of perspective from people too, because I feel like a lot of the people that watch metapsychics are younger, but there are some older viewers. So maybe she'd be able to help resonate with some older viewer perspectives. So all right. Noisy cricket, last question. I would second guess any perceived information as my own brain making stuff up. 100%. And that is a good thing for you to think. I think like mental health wise, it's a healthy thing to second guess the stuff that's coming in through your brain. I do that all the time, which is why I like to have readings either on, Patreon or in person, like private Zoom readings, because then I can have the dialogue, the conversation with you to say, this is what I'm seeing, but this is how I could interpret it. um Sometimes souls are just funny too. I did have a reading a couple weeks ago or a month ago with a woman's dad, and this woman was so funny. She was so kind. Um, and talking about your spirit guides wanting to tell you things, but you're not quite sure what they're like. You're missing the punchline, if you will. I feel like my spirit guides have been telling me that I need to rely less on my clairvoyance because at the end of the day, it's not about being able to prove or discern who I'm talking to. It's more so like the information itself. It doesn't matter where the information comes from. It's just that the information that the soul is giving me is the most important thing. Um, and they've been making it harder, I think, sometimes for me to perceive souls. But there was this one soul that was just like completely on board with what I feel like my spirit guides have been trying to tell me. um, because he would not tell me what he looks like. He would not tell me what he looks like. I could not. It was so frustrating because as a medium, if I went to a medium, which if you guys know any good mediums, I really do want to go see a medium, and I haven't been able to find any ones that actually do like readings or ones that I trust. Um, but it's important, I know, for the sitters, the people that I'm giving readings to know who I'm talking to because mediumship is so preposterous in and of itself. It's ridiculous. Like you don't I have a hard time believing mediumship things too, especially from other people. That was one of the funny things that I told Amanda when we first when Metapsychics first collaborated with her and we went to the Conjuring house and we were talking. We were just bouncing mediumship things off of each other and perceiving stuff. And I was like, I just want to tell you right now, I'm really happy that you're actually a medium because I was extremely sus about this. um but anyways, it's important for the person that you're talking to understand where the information is coming from because we're physical beings. So if I can't establish the fact that it seems plausible or likely that I'm talking to someone, um, then it's really, really hard for you to feel like it's actually happening. And for spirit, I feel like sometimes they just don't care about that. They're like, well, that's just one of your own like little physical human life worries. That's not for you to worry about. But I'm like, please just keep giving me that information because it's important to people. It's very important to people. But anyways, I had a reading with a lovely person, and their dad would not tell me what they looked like. And what he did, his personality was coming through loud and clear. But his daughter really just wanted to know that it was him by having physical characteristics, and he wouldn't do it. But the way that he won her over, I guess, or convinced her that it really was him, was that he used the thing from the Wizard of Oz where he's like, "I am the man behind the curtain." um and when he said that, he was like, "I control everything, but you cannot see me. You just see my shoes." She was like, "That is exactly something my dad would say. I don't need to know what he looks like anymore because that is exactly something that would come out of his mouth." And I guess like the way that I said it, that clairaudient sort of translation came through, and it was just That was it for her. But it was so funny because he's like, "You can't see me." He would show me his chair. He'd show me his pants, but not his face. And then the man behind the curtain. Yeah, what a goofy goober. He was a goofy goober. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It was mediumship is interesting. Psychic abilities is interesting. And I just really very much appreciate all of you being here. I know a good medium, but it's kind of a Pagalici situation. I don't know what that means. What is a Pagliacci situation? That's all right. Um, I appreciate all of you being here because I love meeting at real, not to say real. I really like to meet living people. It's literally my favorite thing that I do about what I do, through readings and things like this. And I've gotten to know some of you not just through usernames and like profile pictures, but even regardless of that, it makes me happy to be able to meet all of you and not just you living people, but also your lovely past loved ones. Because the man behind the curtain was awesome. Emmy is saying the good medium is you live. Oh, oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that. Um, maybe I'll find someone. We'll see. I've just never found like a medium that can tell me like stuff about my family, and most of my family has passed when I was really really young, so I think it would be cool. But I digress. Just to go back before we end, if you guys want to go and read the new blog post on Clairaudience, that is at metapsychics.com. Let's see /journal. Think I can find that. PSY. So you guys can go watch that or not watch it. Go read that. Um, you can also go check out Patreon if that's something you're interested in. If you want to try and do a mediumship circle or a Patreon live stream reading with everyone else, we always have fun with those. It's really fun. Go check out the collaborations if you haven't. If you don't like necessarily just listening to the podcast, the Live Laugh Lore collaboration that came out this or last Sunday will be coming out. I think it's October 15th as a video. So Emily and Caroline from Live Laugh Lore are very funny. They're very sweet. Go check them out because it's always good to go support other people as well. And if you don't like just listening to the pod, the video will be up on October 15th. I did also do a little collaboration too with like a family friend. She's running a business as well, and I think most of it is based out of Arizona. So if any of you live or are near Arizona, um, her business is called A Little Bit of Kindness. I'll put it in the chat a little. And I was on one of their like Facebook live streams or something talking about ghost hunting. They're older. They're much more like I think one of the women is an evidential medium. One of the women I think she does Reiki, or she told me that she doesn't believe in Reiki, which was kind of cool. Because everyone does different things, but it's like a group of women and they all talk about different spiritual things, and each of them has like a different spiritual like professionalism, I guess, if you will. But they're very cute. They're not very big, but if you want to go check them out, I was on one of their live streams on Facebook, I believe. And they're out of Arizona. And I know in Arizona, they do cute, like in person things. I could be wrong. That might have changed, but just I can't offer you guys all of the content. So I'm trying to help you find other people that could offer things that I might not be able to as well. Um, and then it was great hanging out again, Liv. I hope I'll be able to catch more of you. Oh, yes, I will be back. I agree with Tina. If the live streams aren't so straining, it would be nice to do them more often. It is hard sometimes to do them. But I do, like I said, I want to try and do them once a month because I am not putting out as many videos. So if I could answer people's questions and talk about fun topics through here, that's great too. Um, Last little thing is there's going to be new ghost hunting videos coming out in October. Um, They're very low budget, low scale, not super fancy, but still ghost hunting content nonetheless, which I hope to continue to do more in the future of. Um, but I'm really exciting about that, and it'll be a cute little collaboration. I have a friend who is also starting a channel, and that'll be podcast and YouTube videos. So if you guys are excited for more ghost hunting content, that will be in October and November of this year. So I'm glad you're doing stuff in October too. It was fun. And I got to actually record this stuff for my birthday. So it was actually like 90 degrees outside. And I think it'll be kind of funny posting I feel like her name is Shay. I think I'm missing something out. That's okay. Um but yeah, little ghost hunting content. Not anything super whatever, but still beep bop ghost hunty and it'll be fun. So thank you all so much. Oh, wait, hang on. I want to make sure that there's no other people that made readings. There's one more reading. Kayla. Kayla, are you here? Kayla H. Please don't say me that tell me that you left. Oh, I know, right? It popped into my head. I was like, no, I need to make sure that there's no more readings before I do this. Kayla H, are you here? You booked a pet psychic reading. Virgo Leo? I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The only thing that tames me is that my Mars is in Libra, which gives me a really obnoxious sense of justice and right and wrong. I'm an Aries, Sagittarius, Aries. You spicy, Andorra. I've never met another triple fire. Yeah, I always joke and call it the trash fire of zodiac signs. YM Roston. I saw her message in chat a while ago. I'm not sure if she's still here. Oh, come on. Kayla H. Can someone pin her comment for me or like it or something so it goes to so I can see it? Oh, I wish you would have been more annoying. Explains why I like your vibe. Tainted by Libra. Libras are funny. My brother's a Libra. I think Amanda's a Libra, and then the collaboration Meta Psychics did with Patrick from the Haunted Side, he's a Libra. Those are the Libras that I know. Okay, come on. Kayla H, are you here? Thank you, Paper Flower, for adding them. It won't let me like her comment. It's okay. Can you tell me what her comment was? Did she just say like I have a reading or something like that? Oh, Kayla H. Come back. Come back, baby, come back. I will mark you absent and call your parents. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. When you did Catherine's reading. Oh, okay, yeah. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. I'm looking back to where Catherine was. I purchased a pet reading just in case you haven't seen. Thank you. Okay, I did not see. I was going through all of the Catherine comments. It's not your fault, Catherine. It's my fault. I'm silly. In the words of my son, silly bear. Okay, I'm going to try to do this reading so that if they come, why are not afraid of most ghosts and others always say they're evil? Gary, I like your question. I'm not afraid of most ghosts because most ghosts are just people, but they don't have physical bodies, so they're not as scary. And one of the things I like to talk about in like ghost hunting videos and things like that, like if you watch the video from the A Little Bit of Kindness, I talk about how ghosts are just human souls, and when you're using ghost hunting equipment, say like an EVP or um, oh, Igor, um, when they have, like, the spirit box or something and people are like, "Devil," and it comes up on the ghost hunting the spirit box or whatever, it's important to remember that the words that the spirit box picks up are not full sentences, they just are words. Um, and as a medium, when I've had other people bring up, like, devil or more negative things, it's more so because the souls that are interacting with that ghost hunting equipment, um have other things to say, and it's not necessarily that they are the devil or that the devil is around. For example, it could be like a little old Southern woman that's like, "This stuff's for the devil." Like, think about, Bobby Boucher's mom. "That lady's for the devil." So, it's important to remember that it's just bits and pieces and not full sentences. Um, and it's always fun to try and shed light on what the full sentences are in the spirit boxes rather than anything else. Kayla, are you here? I'm gonna try and do your reading regardless, because you could always go back and watch this live stream. It's a little bit different with Nancy because Nancy wanted to talk to a person. I feel like pets are a little bit easier since you gave me an appearance for her too. Um, and if that's not right, I'm still gonna write you down, Kayla, on my priority thing so that when we come back next time, I will have um your name written down so that I can talk to you through the chat. Oh, you are here. Yay, good. Cool. Oh, good, 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 good. Okay. I could pin a message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that helpful tip. As I write everything down because I'm an old lady. Okay. So thank you. You're here. I'm so glad. Okay, 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 okay. So Kayla says my cat, her name is Clark, very cute. She's a beautiful tortoise shell tabby. I've always felt like I've had a soul connection with her, like she's a spirit guide or a soulmate. She's sick with what we believe is cancer. I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry, Kayla. Um, I just am wondering if she's able to confirm that or if she's able to tell me where she feels sick or if I can help her in some way. If you're not able to answer this, I understand. I just want to help her in any way that I can. Okay, we're going to try and do this. I'm really glad you're still here too because this is an important question. I just had a cat. He's like my beloved barn cat. I got him when I was like 14 and he's been really sick. So I get it. The messagings are coming through way later. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I think I have like a 5-second delay just to keep people from like spamming things too fast. So I will wait and it will be okay. Okay. So, Clark, is Clark older? Is she in her teens? Like older teens, mid, early to mid teens? Kayla? Okay, so Clark is in her mid-teens. Um, so when you had her go to the vet and they were talking about cancer, do you know if it's like I'm just trying to figure out my clairsentient feelings. When it comes to the cancer, is it something that's in her like abdomen towards her right back flank area or like her right back hip? But do you also know if it's up like behind her jaw and in her neckline or by her ears? So like where you'd have like your lymph nodes behind your ears and down your neck. And then I feel like there's a little bit of something that bothers me in my lower abdomen to the right behind my hip kind of. Gary says, "Who do you know that are fake?" I don't know. There's people that I believe in and then there's people that I don't. I like Amanda. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that say that Amanda's fake, but I've worked with her personally and I don't watch all of her videos, so I'm not sure if like maybe the information that she was getting in one video could have been more silly or nonchalant or like ghost investigations in some of the videos that are coming out in the future. I talk about with my collaborator that every ghost investigation is different. Like sometimes things are going crazy. You're getting a whole bunch of information. And then other times there's just like nothing. It's bubkiss and the souls around you just don't want to talk about things. Um so oh, it's she says it's working now. Okay, good. um so I don't know. As far as that, I don't really follow other mediums though either, which is kind of silly. That's why I'm like, do you guys know if there's a medium? What about two clickers? I've never heard of two clickers before. I can look into them. I think it would be fun to always look at other people and watch their videos because it's fun to watch other videos, but I've never heard of them before, unfortunately. Um, Liv is not the person to out someone public space like that, but you can always use your discernment or put your truth first. Yes, paper flower. That's very, very much correct. I would rather talk kindly about people than not. Hi from Tally. Hello. Okay, so we were talking about Kayla with Clark. Do you know when it comes to her cancer where the cancer would be in her body? Is it more I feel like there's two places that the cancer could be. It's either both or one or the other. So there's like a sort of blockage sort of feeling in my lower right abdomen behind my hip or like right in front of my hip. Um and then down my neck and behind my ears, there's feelings. So I don't know if the cancer may have metastasized or what kind of cancer she has, but I'm just trying to ask for information to validate that I am talking to her. They think it's leukemia. Oh, okay. Got it, got it, got it. So then it's the blood cancer. So then that would make sense why the lymph nodes, when I talked about lymph nodes, might feel weird. But she's showing no symptoms. Okay. Got it. And is she older? Is she, like, in her teens, like 14, 15, 16? She's 10. Okay, got it. Okay, that's what it is. So, when I ask about how you can better support her, um, I do feel like she could have something with her lymph nodes. Now, when we talk about leukemia, leukemia is like an autoimmune blood cancer type of thing. So, when when I talk about like the her neck feeling sore, it might just be because when her body is trying to fight something, whether it be external, like an external virus, or something that the leukemia or the autoimmune is doing, she might just feel a little more tired, a little more lethargic, or her lymph nodes could be a little more enlarged. So, like, when you have a sore throat and you feel like it's hard to like turn your head left or right a little bit, and you feel like there's little lumps like right here. I know there's lots of lymph nodes throughout the body as well. So, that little bit of like blockage that I'm feeling in my abdomen, could be another lymph node that's more like down by her hips or her back. But I feel like that might be something that she feels. It's not painful, it's just noticeable. So when it comes to helping her quality of life, the immediate response that I get in my mind is uh, palliative care. She does sleep quite a lot, yes, but when she's awake, she's actually really normal. That's why it's so confusing. Okay. And that is completely okay. When it comes to I would I would encourage you to do some of your own research. There's a lot of like I don't want you to like WebMD things, but I think it might help you to understand like what leukemia is and how it can affect cats. Um because as far as I understand it, it has to do with like white blood cells and your immune system, and something's off whack so that your immune system can actually attack your body, and it's in the blood and the lymph nodes and the bones because that's where um your immune system works? Okay, correct. So she can have good days and she can have bad days. One of the good things is that she's a cat. And if she's an indoor cat, that could be even better because when it comes to like autoimmune diseases with people and leukemia, you're more susceptible to getting infections like the flu or some virus or bacterial infection from other people. But if she's inside, then that could be a really good thing for her long term care, in the fact that she's not going to be exposed or has a lower ability to be exposed to outside infections that could compromise her immune system more. So that's a good thing. But when it comes to what you could do, it's just palliative care. So palliative care just means that when someone has a serious long term, um, here, I'll read exactly what the definition was because that could be better. Um, why am I getting weird things on my phone about this? It's basically care that helps um, just increase the quality of life. So, palliative care is specialized medical care for people with serious illnesses that focuses on improving their quality of life by providing relief for symptoms, supporting their emotional and spiritual well-being, and helping them make informed decisions. Um, Kayla says she gets steroid injections every other day for that reason. Okay, perfect. So that's also really helping. So that's going to help with her quality of life as well. It seems like what you're doing is already really good. Um, the fact that she's sleeping is probably just because the steroids are doing what they're doing. I know sometimes in humans, when you give steroids injections, then that can cause to sleeplessness. But if she is dealing with leukemia and stuff that is going on, because I know one of your questions was, can you confirm or deny if she does have leukemia? I can't necessarily confirm or deny it, but I can tell you that I do think that her lymph nodes could be enlarged when she's having days that are a little bit harder, which just feels like a little bit of something underneath the skin behind her ears and in her neck and maybe down in her abdomen because her lymph nodes are working extra hard to keep her healthy. But the steroids suppress the immune system so that it doesn't attack itself. And in people, it can cause restlessness. But if you really are sick, it could make you more sleepy. So her sleeping is a good thing. Again, I'm not a doctor, but palliative care. So just making sure that she's happy and healthy and feels comfortable, which you're already doing with the steroids and just being there for her. When I read your question, though, too, one last thing that I felt could be important is her appetite. So when it comes to her eating and the type of food that she wants, if she gets picky, I would try to just give her what she wants. That was more when I talk to animals, there's two ways that I'll communicate with them. One is mano y mano. So things that they experience that they know about that they're aware of. And then the other is more omnipresent. It's like psychic information. So information that is about them on their behalf, but not necessarily something that they may know about or has yet to happen. So I think this information is more omnipresent or psychic of in the future as her life progresses and you guys continue to do all the best that you are to take care of her, she might have more difficulty in eating or finding joy in eating or wanting to eat. So if you're able to help her with that by just giving her what she will eat that makes her happy, then that would probably be really good for her too. So Kayla says she definitely does. She gets tons of treats. I call it using her cancer card to get extra treats. Okay. That's really funny. I feel like in the future she might need wet food because it'll help with her kidney function, or she might need more water just with all of the stuff that's going on internally. So finding a good wet food that doesn't upset her tummy but gives her the hydration and nutrition that she needs will be good too. Cancer card is very valid. One of my favorite, okay, little story about me since we're talking about cancer in a different way. My grandmother died of cancer when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and one of the little things that I remember doing is we would watch, like, Oprah or something on the TV together in her room, and we'd always eat M&Ms, and M's. And I remember one day I wanted to watch, like, Sesame Street or something, and she's like, "No, we're watching Oprah." And we were eating M&Ms, and at one point I was like, "No, JJ, you have to put on what I want because I'm the guest of the house." Because I was visiting her house, right? So I was like, 4-year-old Olivia was like, "I got her on this. I'm the guest, so we have to do what I want." She goes, "Yeah, well, I have cancer." She took the M&Ms and we watched Oprah. Um, my mom likes to tell that story too, but I kind of remember it as well, sitting on the edge of her bed. But anyways, before I go, I'm very sorry, Kayla. For Clark's illness, but as far as I can tell, you and your family are doing lovely with managing it. And again, palliative care. So managing things, just making sure she feels comfortable to the best of your abilities, and you're already doing that. But did she say anything about soul connection at all? Oh, um, is Clark very connected to your mom too, Kayla? No, she isn't. Okay. That's all right. I'm not sure I'm getting any information about soul connection, but just because I'm not receiving any information about it doesn't mean that it's not true. It might just not be something that I'm able to perceive right now or in general. Um, do you have a bad relationship with your mom or a good relationship? There's something about your mom and how when you got Clark, a relationship with your mom was interesting, and she has something to do with like protecting or um helping you through something with your mom. Does that, like, make a little more sense? I'm not sure. A lot of times when we get animals, they come into our lives in periods of time, like, when we really, really wanted them. For example, I feel like I waited forever for my Newfie, who's, like, sleeping in the hallway right now, snoring a lot. And then other times we get animals and they really, like, help protect a portion of our peace, at difficult times in our lives. So Kayla says, I was living out of the country when I got her in Japan. Oh, okay. So then that might be something that's very connected to your soul connection as well. So, like living out of the country, maybe she needed you in Japan, things like that. So, I'm sure whatever reasoning that you have behind your soul connection is more valid than anything I could provide to you. Hence why I may not be getting that information because it's not necessarily for me to give insight on because you probably already know the answer to the question. I was talking about that the other day with someone in a reading too. They were asking me a question and their aunt and their grandmother stepped forward and were like, uh, ask her to ask herself that question. And when I did that, she basically answered the question herself, which was kind of fun. So sometimes that's what my job as a medium is to be like, you already know the answer to the question. I don't necessarily have to tell you, and they don't either. So, but Kayla says, I got you. Thank you. Cool. Awesome. Perfect. So I don't know. I guess with that, I should go. I have other things that I have to do for work and things around the house. My nana was the same way during my reading with Liv lol. Yeah. I'm not here to tell you what you need to know. I'm here or tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. And sometimes people already know what they need to know. They just need someone else to be like, you know that. So thank you all so much for being here. Also, last before I go with Tina says my kitty recently passed away from gastrointestinal cancer. Very sorry, Tina. Your kitty may have good days or bad days, but watch how she eats and sleeps. As long as she eats well and is kind of active, she's fighting. So don't give up. I wish you and your kitty the best. Super cute. That's kind of how we're dealing with Leo right now, too, my cat. But, anyways, thank you all so much. I really appreciate all of you being here. And until next live stream, I'll make sure that I post it. I'll try to do, I might do another one that's a little bit later, but I'll try to do early ones for everyone that is watching the replay, maybe, and lives across the pond or across the world. So, until then, peace out, Brussels sprouts. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.